Now we can log in the AWS console. In console page, we need to create a public S3 bucket, name DevOps public. The bucket allows public access to all the objects. And create private S3 bucket. Bucket does not allow the public access. And create Lambda function. The function should be triggered by upload to the public S3 bucket. You should copy the uploaded file to the private bucket and create the policies. So we have go to the task. Now already available Lambda function Python file. We need to replace with DynamoDB table and private bucket values. DynamoDB table, and we need to testing upload the file locator. The Lambda function trigger and copy the file to private bucket. So we need to create the bucket. Now we go to the S3 bucket. Public bucket name. Now we go to create bucket. Bucket name. And create private bucket. After creating private bucket, we need to ensure that public bucket allows public access to its. Ensure that bucket does not allow public access. So we need to ensure that public bucket permission. Now it was block all. Now we have edited allow all public access. Now it was edited. Save changes. Confirm. Now it was access. Now we need to add. Now we have edit the policy. Under principal, we have add S3 policy, get object. Nice. Sure. Now we have copy and paste the public bucket ARN ID. Paste it. We can save the bucket policy. Now we can save the bucket policy. Go to the bucket. Now it will be changed. After we have go to the Lambda function name, create Lambda function, DevOps copy function. This function should be triggered by uploads to public S3 bucket should copy uploaded file to. Okay, we can create the Lambda. Create Lambda function. Function name. Select Python. Because we are running the Python file, so we need to select Python run. Python code editor. So we have select after custom execution role. We need to create role, create new role, and the role name is copy and paste the role name. We need to select AWS Lambda basic role. Already it's available. The role name should be paste here. Already it was selected by default execution role. Now we have select DynamoDB also. Now we have select some policies. Use existing policies. Now we need to add S3 bucket role. we need to add S3 bucket policy also. So we have add the default policy. Now we go to the IAM role and we change the policies. Under role, we have already created Lambda executor role. This is policy name. Under roles, this is already available. Now we need to add some permission policies, attach some policies for S3 bucket. S3 full access and also add some already available Lambda function. So we have added DynamoDB full access, DynamoDB full access. So we have add permission. Now we have add two policies. Now we have add three policies: DynamoDB access and S3 full access. Access. Now we have add two policies. Right now we have select IAM role. Select execute role and save. Now we have saved the role. Now IAM permission role added here. Attach this policies to the role and link this role to the Lambda function. Okay. And create function. Uploads to S3 bucket should copy uploaded file to the private bucket. Now you can see the Lambda function URL. In this file, we need to copy the file content. The Lambda function is available. Now we need to paste the file here. Now we have copy and paste all. Now we go to edit DynamoDB table name and private bucket name. Now we have to DynamoDB table name is here. We need to create it. So first we need to edit that file. Now we edit the private bucket name also. We already created. Just copy and paste the bucket name. Now we have replaced the bucket name and DynamoDB table name in Lambda code. Now we have added this. Now we have replaced. After replacing the file, we have deployed a function. Now it was successfully updated function. Now we go to add trigger. We have add trigger. Now we need to add trigger by uploads to the public S3 bucket. Okay, so we need to add trigger source is under S3. The bucket is public to center bucket the function. Now we have edit the but select bucket and event type should be after selecting the event type should be put. And after I acknowledge that using S3 bucket and after trigger DevOps public was successfully added function DevOps. Okay, now it was added to trigger to the S3 bucket. Now we can see S3 bucket is here. Refresh. Go to private bucket. None of this available. Now we need to add S3 buckets. Before we have list the file. Copy file. Sample.zip. S3 and file name should be copy public IP, public bucket name. Now the file was uploaded to public IP. Now you can go to the public bucket. Now file was added. Now you can go to check in private bucket. It was triggered by public IP. Okay. Now we can create dynamo repeatable. The table name. Where is the task file? Create dynamo repeatable. Should string must be log ID. Okay. Create table. Table name. Partition keys. Log ID. Copy and paste. Default setting. Create table. Now dynamo table also created. This table will store logs generated by the Lambda function, source bucket name, destination bucket, and object key. Okay. Now we have delete the object in S3. We go to the S3. Now we go to S3 bucket. And go to public bucket name. Tables inactive. Now we have deleted the file. Now object will be deleted. And go to private bucket. Objects also delete. Now you can see explore table items. Now log ID is then log ID is empty. Now you can add the bucket name to the public IP. So now the public IP is creating. Private bucket is triggered. So now you can see the login ID is changed. Stored in SD logs. Now successfully added public bucket to the private bucket, and after log entry has been created in dynamic DB table containing the file copy details. Now the task is over. Thank you for watching.